is also the funds public relations officer who will be giving us a lot about this. Susie Linda, she will be telling us, of course, how this initiative probably came up like and why it has come up through right there. And then we'll be digesting a little bit on this. But today, it was at exactly 9 to 10 where, of course, at Letsuba, a press conference took place launching the project dubbed as the bus project, the mini coaster or the mini bus project of that is on Onduparaka Football Club. This initiative launched by the fans, not the management of the club, but supported by the management, of course, giving the go-ahead. I mean, when I talk about supporting or authorizing, that is the fans to do this job for Onduparaka Football Club, and that is one of the biggest things that has gone in there. Now, with me, I happen to have the fans PR or the public relations, Susie Linda, who will be telling us more about this. How did this come up like, and what exactly it means to the club of Onduparaka Football Club right there.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I know a lot of our questions have been running around like this has been something that came up very abruptly to, of course, the public and the media out there. But this is not something that is abrupt to, of course, the fans' leadership. Since last year, as the season started, we have been having quite a couple of meetings, a series of meetings here and there, trying to see how actually we can come in to help the club. Because initially we had meetings with also the club management and the rest of the people and stakeholders. We tried to understand ourselves and see where we can come in handy to, of course, help the club. And then one of the biggest issues of the club gave us as the fans leadership was that they have been having challenges in transporting the players to honor in away fixtures, especially these other fixtures that have been very far in the western and the rest of the parts of the country. So we thought it wise that this could be one thing that we could come in to at least help in join hands with the club to see that it really takes shape. Because in the previous years or in the previous seasons, we've been seeing a couple of these same projects coming through, but it always dies a natural death, I should say. And this time around, we came through with this, and we already had a full program on how this is, of course, going to be very eminent in this very thing, where, of course, the leadership, with full support from various the club management, launched the project to acquire an estimated 250 million mini bus for the team before there is the next season. And of course, heading this project is Mr. Buti Caesar, who is the project manager. And this project, a launch for about the 250 mini coaster, of course, will be taking shape from January, that we're already in 25th, up to July 27th. It's estimated within 7 months that we'll be able to fundraise the money that is required for this very mini bus. And of course, a lot of people out there should be asking, how do the fund leadership intend to fundraise for this very money that is required? There are a lot of roadmaps that, of course, we have. In the previous balances, we have some monies in collection, and then the management also handed to us some money that we joined together, and then we were able to go to MTN that also gave in some little bit of money. And then how we are to realize the remaining balances of this money is in that the first leadership intends to hold 4 concerts. There is to see how to mobilize this money, and then they will also intend to go to the different clubs out there. We intend to organize a car wash and different drives. We intend to go to the different companies out there, all to come through and help realize this money that is needed towards the minibus project.
Kokole, you were in that press conference today morning, and a press conference that had a lot of explanations that came through. And then you looked at how this was going to work, and the funds giving themselves a task of only 7 months to acquire a mini coaster worth 250 million. Now, of course, in that you did see them say already they have at hand 30 million that is already there pending, waiting for the 220 million that they are supposed to raise through different activities that have come in there. Now, you see that the directors also had to start this process by putting in money as, of course, the owners of the club, making sure that this is the supports, this is where we can start, just like laying a foundation to for the funds to push in there. And then, of course, the previous monies of around 400 and something people, which was around 15 million, was also given to these funds to make sure that this was the one that was collected. Instead, for the by then for the bus, now they can start up here, a build-up that is there, and then the M10 coming also on board. You look at all this, do you think the 7 months would be appropriate? That is one. Then, of course, it's a short term, not a long term. I should say long-term objectives are still also to be achieved. But this is one thing that has come in there. What do you take of this initiative?
Well, Izaga, when you basically look at Uganda for now, there's money in Uganda. Even if today this money can come out, that's what I have to tell you. But the truth here is that the funds this time really coming out boldly, taking a project, not really this time giving the funds or the finance to the management. I'm not saying funds don't trust the management. They trust, but they feel doing it themselves is the best way and the quickest way, as you said, really a short term to help this football club in this mean. Sometime back, you know, many questions were being raised. These are too many projects. The car wash project, as Sister Susie did mention. We have at the gala, you know, like a nightclub organizer and so on. These are projects that the way they talk, really, it's something that could help a lot. And one thing I want to tell Izaga is that it is how we mobilize. I did share with one of the members that looking at these clubs, these are structured clubs. These clubs can even maintain themselves. Everything can come automatic. But depends how the management put things right and how they account to the funds. See how they have taken. It tells me really it is possible that this can be achieved and accounted in the meanwhile, despite people thinking of this money being much. But this is Uganda, honestly, the money is there. It's just a matter of looking at this money.
Some people even use that just for their pocket change.
Definitely, because you cannot give where there is no accountability.
Okay.
So doing it that way is one of the best. To me, it is possible.
The funds intend to do every contribution, appreciating and giving, of course, feedbacks on that according to what is there. Someone would be asking, what about the management? Now, I want to represent the management by saying that, yeah, it was a full initiative that we gave to the funds because sometimes there were a lot of complaints. There were a lot of says about the previous project. And remember, only 15 million was raised. And this money is the one that is going to be given to the funds, I mean, to start up everything. Now, only 15 million, even it can't buy a wish. Trust me, right now, a brand new wish, no, 15 million, unless you're going to buy a second hand. The project manager said, if 15 million, he has cars, he has bought cars, maybe that one would buy a bus of etc. That was a joke he made in there. So, the bus itself, that money, yes, someone will say, for people who have bought cars, will say this is too much money. But the bus is around 150 something of 80 million. Then the remaining money is for branding, for renovating, insurance, then working on this bus because they want to put charging ports, Then, of course, you know, these coasters come with different seats. So they want to put seats that are comfortable for the players. So it would round up a sum of around 250 according to what they had to come in there. And this is going to be a mini coaster that is going to be bought to see that they get. I think it's a good initiative for me. To the fans, I want to applaud the fans' leadership this time who have taken this initiative so strongly to see that they really needed to work upon this to make sure that they achieve or they love the club to get the right thing. So I believe by the time, because the progress is, what they said was they believe the club is going to be in UPL by July. That means the club will be in UPL to see that they are great in there. Indeed, in case that is what is going to be there, the club should move in their own van. And in case now, I know people are going to be calling, wanting to ask what exactly. They also gave options in case this does not, the collections are not full, they will still declare to the public it's not complete, but this is what they have raised. They will take to a bond and then look for the remaining balance. That means they continue with the projects that will be pushed in there. So those are some of the things that the funds are coming up with, and we are waiting to see what exactly that would be coming. But that besides, by the way, shouldn't also let you, because there are very many questions that arise. What about the fundraiser money that Honorable Lematia organized here and there? That is, part of the money has been given, around 7 million has been given to, that is the funds, and they submitted to the management, which helped, of course, in the players who moved out and couldn't return on time. There was financial constraint that had to be worked on how to help the players and motivate them pay a few of their arrears. But the other balances, still when maybe the pledge one gotten back, it was around 70 something. If it is gotten back, of course, still will be given to the funds to see that the project continues. So that's how it is going to be for those Stone John Duparaka fans who are following this very show. And that is exactly how things are going to be going. Why? Because we feel this fund's leadership is really to be worked up with. And whatever idea they bring as management, will feel like this is now the time we need to give support to them. So that is why you're seeing every time. I did see the Suzies yesterday with the players, talking to them. Of course, we have a very big task ahead. Calvary is the next trip at Midigo, and the task that was given to the players was to finish with 25 points in first round. And indeed, they have so far tried their level best to finish with 22 so far. Now, one game at hand, that is at Midigo in Calvary. In case they can win that, then it takes them to the target that the fans had set for them to achieve. And indeed, if they achieve that by winning maybe against Calvary, it's going to be so interesting to see that they have achieved their target. That means it puts back the task to, that is the club management and of course the team entirely, to push it. So that's one big project that came in there. I want to say kudos to the funds management and the fans at large who are going to embrace this and probably who are going to start contributing. And a lot of things are going to be coming. This was press conference for the launch. Now today you'll be seeing very many activities coming. Another big thing they launched was the Undu TV, Undu Fans TV. That also came, by the way. The Undu Paraka Fans TV also is one big one that also came through ahead of this very launch. So it's on. You can also follow them and see how the club's things are doing right there. So those are some of the big things. Now back to the Uganda Premier League, those that were there. But before that, yesterday games were played. Undu Paraka Football Club won 1-0 against Chinda. A tight game, slim goal that came in from Alan Chigundu, who of course tried in there. What are the results?
There were a couple of games that did go down on 5th of January yesterday in a very league. And some of the results that came through included the Black Angels that played at Chigezi Homeboy and did beat them at 2-0. We also did see Buhimba Saints playing Karo Karunji, and Karo Karunji lost to Buhimba Saints at 2-1. We did see Mida losing to Kataka 1-0. And Gaddafi beat Boma Football Club 3-0, quite interestingly. And then Undu Paraka Football Club, just like the colleague said, this time Owen said, beat Gary's the boys 1-0 at a Green Light Stadium, at Luo City. We did see Tuga Sazei losing to Black's Power at home at 2-1. And then lastly, we did see Busoga United beating Arua Hill 2-1.
A bad one for Arua Hill still. Miseries continue with that, whether home or away. And if I'm not mistaken, they have just won so far 2 games in the entire, so far 18 games, I think 12 games played in there. So it's so bad for them, and that is coming. The FIFA Big League is coming to a first round closer by, that is 12th of this month. That means some other teams will still play because they still have games at hand to be played right there. But one of the biggest thing is the Uganda Cup that is also coming that we shall be discussing. Before we get to the Uganda Cup, allow me get to, that is to Paida Black Angels, who also won their game, and we are calling his the coach of Paida Black Angels right now, as of course when he is on, we shall be turning to him. That is Mr. Hassan, who of course, remember, he said he had resigned. And then of course shortly we saw the president also being off the books. Then later on, we have also seen that he is back on touchline yesterday. What that means for the team is big. But as a player, I mean, as people get here and there, what do we look into? Let's first get to, that is Hassan, and see what he tells us, probably about what exactly, what is the reason why he came here, why did he return to Paida Black Angels. That's a very big one, because Paida, yes, we have seen the coach, the first coach left, and then now he is also back. Qualification and the rest matters a lot. Remember, a lot of questions coming there. So let's first get to what he will be telling us, because we getting to him when he gets the call. We'll be asking him a lot of questions depending on how he is. But Kokole,
Yeah,
retirement.
I think
resigning.
actually resignation is not always final. It is where you're not comfortable, but you feel things have to be done. And of course, in one way or other, you can do it like off on to make the light, kind of be bright. But I think he has been so tremendous. His job has been so well. He has been doing so well in the club, putting in mind that his profile is such a kind of magnificent profile that everyone really deserves the club. Looking at how Paida Black Angels really started this year, the performance has been good. Only that one or two of the things I told you, it's about how we put things right.
Yeah.
But in this case, I want to blame the management and I want to remove the coach. Him coming back means the body trusted him and even the players themselves trusted the coach. So his coming back means he has the intention to deliver for the club. And likewise, people have trust in him. But exactly when someone is still resourceful, we can't just throw the person away. He may resign, but we need to know why it happens. To me, his coming back should be a blessing, not really something that people may say.
Literally, I'm told before management led by Mr. Robert, what is the other name? Jakonyi was
Robert,
not well. This was after, of course, the Black Angels team were stuck in Kampala after they had finished the game. They couldn't travel back and a lot of things. So fans raised a lot of questions here and there. And I think later on, voting in, saying the vote of no confidence to their president. And indeed, the president had to step down. Now it's a totally new structure, new management. Is that worthy getting a new management? Because I did say it here for those who were watching. Okay, let's first get to that is Mr. Hassan, who is right now online. Good afternoon, Mr. Hassan. Yes, sir. He just went mute. We shall be getting to him shortly once again. But I said that Paida would be getting a game. Hello. Good afternoon, Hassan.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hassan. Hello. Yes, Hassan, I'm getting you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. He seems to be having a network problem. Mr. Hassan, hello. Okay, Coach Hassan couldn't be what's just like that, but we can summarize this because our time is also running low. I was saying, what about, fans? Okay, we believe the club is for fans, but you can't register that club with the entire fans, no? Representatives coming there. Now, president, the question is how much does he put in the team? Because as a club president, you have to invest in the team. After investments, you have to also know sure. So I did say something like, if Paida Black Angels continue this season, I mean, in fact, they're now in the big league. If they don't change management this season, I remember saying I would resign. Because it is one thing in their DNA that every season they have to make changes. And these changes come every time. We saw in the big league, how many times, at least in the season, they changed also twice. Yeah. Just like Navy Central. This season, which made them go through, that's why Jakonyi came in as the president by the time and pushed the team to big league. Now, big league, he has just done a little before the first round. He's off another management. They will finish this. Next season, another management. That is Paida. At least it's not the first time I've
but I think, Owen, I need to interject here a bit. It depends on how we always run management. Looking at this, let us look at why. Why are they really doing that? Sometimes because they have trust. Maybe it's, sometimes when you bring something new and after it is grown up, you need to face it or bring something new. But I think there's really a lack of transparency which is in this management of Paida Black Angels. I wanted to borrow leave really from, that is Kitara. That really made it their way very open to the big league. each and every time they really raise funds, these funds have been supporting them. They put it clear on media, and even fans are always certified about that. When they rose against the coach, it's something really open.
Kokole.
But then if you keep...
Kokole, which team in Koboko do you support? Which team are you in?
I really don't support any team, but all the teams are mine.
Hassan. Hello. Okay, that guy is not. Let's just chill him. We shall get to him another day. But let's say you're in the management of Koboko or Tipsa or yes. Koboko Rising Stars.
Yeah.
Then Susie is your fan.
Yeah.
She always wants to know what is there. How many times has the Koboko Rising Star uploaded their gate collection?
That is something really I haven't.
No, I'm just saying. Thank you. So sometimes you see, it's just like I see all these international, international,
yeah,
and the rest, even the clubs that are professional. Yeah. What they can put on board is the profits they have made or the losses that has hit them. Have you ever seen them put their gate collection?
Not really.
So no one should lie to you. For me, that's what I believe. No one should lie to you that giving accountability of the gate collection is transparency. No. How sure are you that the gate collection that is being shown there is the exact one?
Yeah. True.
So, why should someone... Then some people do these things for bragging.
True.
Just to say, okay, this is the money we made. This is what we made. Sometimes some people, even you see that their funds may not be enough, and they just want to say, okay, we can also afford this.
True.
But they started making this. They said, yeah, we made 8 million, we made this, we made this.
But later things went mute.
That is not happening. So, Susie, that's where exactly
True.
I want us
True.
to digest it.
Yeah, true.
Unless, for me, unless they change, unless they do whatever is there, then that would be, they would proceed very far.
For the Black Angels, and it's not only, by the way, an issue that is by the Black Angels, you also give really essential. And there are also other teams that are going through the same at the other lower league, games. By the way, I think this is something that is just there in with the teams that are in a greater Lund sub-region. Because you see them changing management here and there. At one season, the person they're working with is okay, and then the other season, the person already becomes bad and all that. You see the person resigning here and there and all that. So basically, I think what they did to Doris as a CEO is quite a very good one, if at all the reasons that they gave him were very true. And for a fact that they already did win in the game yesterday after the CEO and
the
his
president.
cabinet, the president and his cabinet have told the entire cabinet moved aside, and now they
I saw the chaotic by the Black Angels management at Greenlight. I remember.
We pray and hope that this continues for now that they have trusted in the new management. They're telling me new management, new tribe, they're going to win games and all that. We pray.
The next person is the assistant coach who was now as the head coach who will leave if things don't work well.
We are watching also and wish them all the best.
All right, let's. I don't want to dwell so much on, of course, that, but it is better to have the best to change things. Normally, Muzami tells me at Pakwachi, when something is this, they come and arrest the situation. Yes, you need to arrest it there before it leaks out, because that's one big thing. Hassan's send off on they sent him indefinitely suspension was after. Even no one knew about it, but there was already a leak in the media. That shows how porous also the club's management protection is. Back to the Uganda Cup. Draws were made today, and we have West Nile clubs that are representing. Let's have a whole list that was done by B.A. Cool today, who was in charge of the draws right at Mengo Fufa House. How did the draws go? Did it favor?
Yes, I think when you look at truly these draws, I think these draws are done the way they're supposed to be. And when you look at truly West Nile, any team that for now progresses to the round of 64 means you're strong enough to face any other team that really comes at that level. But really, surprisingly, you know, some of the teams, I don't know whether they'll really survive. And when you look at West Nile, we have a good number of teams, by the way, quite 7 to 8 teams there that are features today. And of course, looking at the fixture, we have that is Busenyi Veterans FC. They will take on that is Onduparaka. That's another tricky match for Nduparaka. But to me, when I think before I move on, that should just be like a walkover for Nduparaka. Based on the communication coming
Uganda
from...
Cup is very funny. That is Uganda Cup. We have seen Vipers being ejected with what is it? Some funny team. I'm sorry, but you couldn't hear. Yeah.
But then there have been veterans in this team. You know, that's on the Paraka. But I still have believe in this. So in others, of course, we have Soroti Thunders FC will take on Black Powers FC, and then we have Pajuli Lions will take on Gaddafi FC. We have that is Bugoigo Leopards will take on Boma FC. Red Devil FC will take on Express FC. We have Rampara Bulls will take on Calvary, our own there. I don't know. What's your take on Calvary? Could it be another a kind of bridge for Calvary to also cross? Just
Calvary
the way they did last year.
Enough, by the way, they have rested enough. They have even yesterday they didn't have a game. They were waiting for that game. Probably this week they will play a game, I guess. Then before they play on Buparaka Football Club, that's another big game. So it's not bad. There was a shake just a bit when the coach shaked the management a bit of saying that he wanted to leave, and it went all viral. But at last they settled down and sorted out their issues. So coach Simon or team is still with the team. So I think they can still progress because the players will be focused. Though
Calvary, you know, another side also with a lot of stories, but wish them all the best. So in the list, we still have Iganga, youngsters, of course, will take on Soltai Bright Stars. We have New Life Hatereke Soccer Club will take on UPDF. Of course, UCU will take on NEC FC. We have Mabera Town Council will take on Tungazaze. Then we have Total will take on Arua Hill Suzy, another tricky one.
Yeah, this is going to be a very quick one, but I shouldn't be surprised that I'll beating Arua Hill in there.
Sure.
So Arua Hill is coming back to Western Island yet
yes.
again. That's, I think, the interesting part of it.
That they've been having in big league. It's possible. Total is doing well.
Arua Hill fans will travel for that game. The likes of our cameraman and the rest.
Okay, I think the list continues, of course, quite a long list here. We have Mawokota United will take on Katida FC. We have Renzori Lions will take on Busoga United. Rukuguza United will take on Karo Karungi. That's another trick side there. Football Classroom will take on Bahimba United. Then we have Mbarara FC will take on
now. Football Classroom
Wakiso
is a
Giants.
team that is, let's say, most like for the veterans, because Football Classroom is a FUFA platform that has different people like us, like you, the stakeholders in football. They learn football every day out of it. So, they also have a team. I think that's a good one.
But of course,
that means the
Uganda
Arua
Cup,
Media team can also now register for Uganda Cup.
but at this point, you don't need to rule something out, of course. Any team that reaches there, I told you, really has the strength to play. And of course, the list is long. And looking at some of the West Nile teams here, we have, that is Odramachaku Central will take on Paida Black Angels. That's another trick one.
I think a good one for Lolo, a test that will be coming in there. But Odramachaku will make money. That's one big thing, because I know this team has to travel to Odramachaku. Then Paida Black Angels, yes, with the vibe, they will also come. If they are doing well, still they are going to come. I believe in that. So it's a tricky game, though, but a tough one, because Odramachaku right now is on form. They are doing very well, whether home and away, they are winning.
But in the Uganda Cup, anything can happen. So the list is a bit lengthy. And of course, lastly, concerned with the West Nile here, we have Kuluva Rainbow will take on Maida, another struggling side with 10 points last in their league there.
Kuluva at home, they have not lost to any team.
They have.
To which team? I mean Airfield only one. In fact, they have lost only one game there. So they have only lost to Airfield, which I think the remaining games have been very good for them. The last game I watched was on Saturday at their home with Okolo Central. So you would see that these boys, they have no coach, by the way, but they have a coach player by the name of Kubo Brian, who is their coach player. So that means the spirit in the team is so good. Maida coming here, don't get surprised if Maida does not report for this game.
True.
Yeah. So Kuluva will have to advance, because I'm weighing things for the team.
Basically, looking at this, of course, these games will be played between 10th to 20th of January. But now the last word is, when you look at this fixture, most of these teams, these are traditional teams in the Uganda Cup.
Yeah, of course.
Looking at Arua Hill, looking at our own, that's Onduparaka, Pride the Black Angels, these are traditional teams in the Uganda Cup.
And most of the times they don't honor games for Uganda Cup. Most of the times. They reach certain level and someone feels like this is... Because there are a lot of things that you need to go through and a lot of expenses. Let's Bushenyi. Onduparaka has to travel all the way from here to Bushenyi. Okay? You have a Uganda Premier League game. Then after that you have to also honor a Premier League game in Kigezi. So just look at that. Sometimes things don't. But all in all, they are long distance games. So they will have to go play and then come back. Sometimes it affects the league games. But good enough that it's coming by 10th. That big league is on. I don't think some of these games will be played during that time, but after the leagues are also concluded. But all in all, that's a good one. Our time is low, but I just want to, in the 1 minute left, that we can talk about the game yesterday, Liverpool against Manchester United. What were the positives you saw in the game?
The game was quite very competitive. It was a good one. For me, Manchester United, by the way, of Liverpool in front of their own fans and at their own home. It was quite a very good test and a good run for there is a Liverpool. And for the meantime, the display that Manchester United did put yesterday was quite very impressive. If only they can keep that and also get together in there is the dressing room and keep that spirit, by the way. It's quite a very good one for them. It was quite surprising that they would hold Liverpool at that draw in front of Liverpool fans.
What went well for Amorim? Because it's one big thing that for me, I even looked at it.
I want to really interject to here. Honestly, Amorim is one of the persons I really trust. I don't support Man U, but really I have to trust this guy. How Man U played was so much of competitive football. Look at the defense. Each and every time, Liverpool is used to counter-attack. Even when they brought in...
But United used a back five. That's already a back five because...
And they were able to get the goals.
And Kobe Mainoo had to drop so deeper and see how the flanks were moving. Yeah.
True. Yeah. When you look at the passing accurate, honestly, Manchester United outplayed Liverpool, though they drew. And to me, Manchester really deserved so much credit to Gakpo, though to me, he seems to be the man of the match yesterday.
We saw a Trent being chanted and a lot of complaints raised about Trent Alexander-Arnold by different people, even the fans.
Basically, Arnold
as
was
a coach, would you play him?
And of course, you cannot fall.
No, because now, for me, look at, this is the Trent Arnold, who is already disturbed by the transfer to Madrid that is already torturing him. And you're bringing him in again. Most of the times when coaches see you're already linked with the move, they don't play you because of such things that disturb. But there were rumors that already moving out to that. So a very big one. But Kole, if you were given that chance that was given by Joshua Zirkzee to Harry Maguire, would you have wasted it?
It's like actually what I said, Maguire is always Maguire. No one could always be in Maguire's shoes. That goal, it's just an empty net, you just net and 3-1. But that is Maguire, no wonder the game ended draw. But credit to Manchester United.
Was low, but all in all, I think that's one big thing that happened. We shall be getting. Man U's next game is against Arsenal. It's a League Cup, a Carabao. So we shall be waiting to see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of the show.